Hello, everybody.
The last Metroid is in captivity.
It's gonna be hard.
Is at peace.
What the? Guys, can take me over to build up to top.
Now this is hard. I did it to my preferred controls.
Hey, yo, chill. I heard what you said. You said something like I'm at sky limit. Notice a dominance because it's nice. If you shoot him, you're dead. Good shot it. I know, I see him. There's two people.
Some of my friends don't believe me that I have a YouTube channel, so I just stopped talking about it.
No, he's not nice.
But I do. The idiot's named Riker. Oh, and if you don't go to Fort Capel School, that's the school that I go to, and your name is Riker or Mackenzie or whatever, or any person like Nixon or anyone there in my class, if you're watching this, you guys are idiots. But the actual people that actually watch my videos are great.
I carved out a soap. I sculpted stuff out of soap. I sculpted it. Yeah, they're not.
This game is easy. This game is easy at the start. Meridia, I can't go through by myself.
Inside the cloud killed me.
Wait, why don't I just let it kill me? Because that's what you're supposed to do. Let it.
No, they haven't destroyed it
Boom.
yet.
Okay, let me go. This will count in many episodes. I'm like 10 or 20. And one thing, not even close to 100%. I don't even know how to wall jump good. I am not gonna be great yet.
I'm a hunter, remember, I'm a hunter.
That was actually crazy.
The skin I'm wearing is a hunter.
Oh, and this is not my actual voice. I am actually pretty loud. If you meet me, do not ask what's the black thing on my chin. And I have poo-poo brown eyes.
No way! I got so much XP from that. No! No!
Which one is dash?
No, the...
Is I holding down jump?
Wait, no, can I kill you? A headshot, because I need the XP to level up. I'm so close.
This is easy. I do a lot of backtracking in this place to get a lot of missiles.
I need to kill you for XP. Thanks for leveling me out.
I'm checking what button is to change to missiles or anything. Some crazy people who do speedruns for this game, they just do this down here. And they do a lot of glitches.
It's happened to you. It's happened to me. It's happened to me as well. It's brutal.
Oh yeah, this one's gonna be a long one.
Got to the flight check-in and they said,
So you better start liking what I watch.
But only by a little bit, so the guy was nice and said, okay, I'm gonna let you walk through and inform your layover about what's happening. Get those
Who cares if that other one was about Canada, mostly about Minneapolis, crazy stuff happened.
ready to stroop walk.
I live in Canada.
Then you are ready.
I'm an idiot.
I need the XP from this kill.
Yogo Canadian Harvest. A rich and creamy.
I hit on my Samsung smart fridge.
This person sucks.
No more rules for the next 20.
That person tried teaming.
Yogo Canadian Harvest. From here, for here. In October, I went on the first vacation I've been on with my family in years. My dad works super hard all the time, so normally it would be either my brother, mom, and me, or just me and my mom. Even those vacations became pretty sparse. It's been over 10 years since we've all had a family vacation, and all of a sudden we have a week to be squished together in a foreign country. So how'd this one go? Day one. We arrived at the Tokyo airport after a nice and easy 11-hour flight and got off the plane like, wow, I can't believe we finally made it. We've been planning and looking forward to this trip for almost a year, and it's finally happening. How do we get out of here? We walked around the airport for 2 hours trying to figure out what we had to do, which train we had to get. We lost Dad for like half an hour in the sea of Asians. I'd already expected the worst and thought he was dead, but no worries, turns out he wasn't taken out by the Japanese mafia. My mom had to get train tickets and he
What
had
is
to
the
take care of the
mafia?
luggage, so we split up and planned to meet
A lot of people think I'm stupid for
There
that.
were two of them on opposite ends of the
And I
floor.
don't think I know how to
They
spell
looked
mafia.
exactly the same. Luggage, so we split up and planned to meet at a ticket counter, but looked tickets and thought he was dead. But no worries, turns out he wasn't taken out.
Okay.
Opened the door like that, and he was able to slip through. Oh, that's mad. Oh, I need to see one of these videos. Me got asked to watch this. This
Fuck.
is how you improve in Minecraft. Oh, is that
But
Let's go. I get so much XP for this.
is done.
Oh! This man literally just killed the creator of Minecraft. I mean, is this man
I'm level 71 right
He
now.
is now. Okay, we got. Oh, is this death swap? We're swapping in 5
What is
seconds.
the
What is this plan to kill the other guy? Ender pearl and jump into a hole. Oh,
Oh,
I'm killing this person.
what just happened? Did he
boom.
and then swap
Where the
back?
hell
I don't
did?
understand.
What is the mafia?
Oh, he threw an ender pearl.
There's a person by your base. Person by your base.
Location. Now grappling him? Man, get out of town. There's no way. How much gravel does one man have?
Taken out by the Japanese mafia. My mom had to get train tickets and he had to take care of the luggage, so we split up and planned to meet at a ticket counter. But little did we know there were two of them on opposite ends of the floor.
Okay, now I know
They
this
looked
person
exactly
killed
the
me.
same. So my parents were just grumbling and waiting for each other to show up at the opposite ticket stand with no method of communication because we didn't have Wi-Fi yet. After figuring that out and getting to the Tokyo station, we had to use the subway to get to our hotel. None of us grew up in the city and using the subway was new to us, so we had had to look at the train station map to see what to do, and is this the Windows 98 pipe screensaver? What is this? Props to people who use the Metro daily, or even just know how to figure that stuff out, because that's like a whole Bill Gates secret code, and the consequence of making a mistake is paying to be plopped in an area you never wanted to be at in the first place. We didn't even know how to start reading the map, so my dad resorted to the only logical option. Do you speak English? Do you speak English? Konnichiwa. Please, help us. 英語話せるわけねえじゃねえか、外人のバカ。迷子になれ。
It's over for you. You don't know where he's waiting through an ender pearl. Oh, he doesn't even know. He's gonna knock him off. He's gonna knock him off. He's done. He's done. He's done. He's done. You know, this is something similar to
a good 90% of the time we were lost and not knowing where to go. So my dad would keep walking up to random
I think I read that wrong.
Communicate with them in English, even though we were in a country that doesn't speak English.
What the
He
hell?
obviously wouldn't understand. He would just try to say it all again, but slower, like that was.
What the hell?
But we found a guy named
What?
Paul who helped us
Cookie.
out. So thank you, Paul. Konnichiwa. Japan is super different from the
Konnichiwa.
States. I didn't really know what to expect
Konnichiwa.
when my mom and I were
Shut
super
up.
hyped after
Konnichiwa.
experiencing and learning about the culture. Dad and Jax, not so much, but they like the food.
Yeah, I would like the food.
First morning, woke up early to do a Tokyo bus tour. This time after our best friend Paul taught us the ropes, we were experts at navigating the subway. We got on the wrong train. We stopped at a cafe for breakfast, and it was at that point where I realized I wasn't going to be able to use the image translation app I downloaded to try and make communication easier while we were there. It would have been super awesome to just hold the camera over the Japanese symbols and have the phone immediately be like, hey, this is what this says. But it wasn't working the way I thought it would. I don't speak Japanese, but I'm pretty sure they weren't selling a surprised egg topped with the first time in fabric. His wife. I don't think that's the thing. Who married an egg and why is she so surprised? The tour was fun. We went
That's what I would do.
to some shrines, saw some sumo wrestlers, went up the Tokyo Tower. Pretty cool Asian stuff. Second day, we walked on Japan's big famous crosswalk that looks like the B-movie's traffic system. Pressed F for the dog that waited 9 years for his dead owner to return from the train station. I love you, Hachiko. Went to a hedgehog cafe. Got on the wrong train. Mega Donuki! Spent way too much money at the Pokemon Center. Won nothing at a big arcade. And then collapsed into bed.
Why don't you go to
Probably
Japan
slow
or
things down a
any,
bit so you can really
like
take in.
Japan or
Wrong
China?
train, rice triangles, tiny banana snack. My brother said it tasted weird. Walking tour. Oh god, my legs hurt. More noodles. Went to sleep. We had another bus tour around
The only
Kyoto.
thing I
One
would
of the
do is
stops
go to
was this
sleep.
1,000 golden statues temple that was really cool. We learned about a bunch of gods. One of which I, a Pokemon master, already recognized since it was the inspiration behind Thundurus.
Dork alert.
Another one of the stops on the bus tour was this temple called Kiyomitsu's Data. And there's a whole backstory to this place where some people would do this thing called taking the plunge, which was seen as a bold and desperate, extreme wish-making act. So it's simple. What you do is jump off the 43-foot temple balcony and not die. That's literally it. I'm not joking. In the Edo period, people
What's that?
believed
What time was that?
balcony and not die. That's literally it. I'm not joking. In the Edo period,
Well, that was real long ago.
people believe that if they put their lives in the hands of Canon, the god of mercy, you'd be granted a wish.
Can't
even
wait until I
you don't
get
die,
water
because he doesn't give wishes to corpses. During that time, 200 people jumped, and 85% of them survived, which I'd say is actually a pretty good ratio. One woman apparently even jumped twice. Hey, my wish didn't come true. Well, I guess I jump again. Well, I'll let you do that. Anyway, that wasn't even where I'm going. There's this little shrine area at the foot of the temple with 3 waterfalls representing either lost life, wisdom, and if you drink from one of them, it's believed that you'd be granted that particular category in life. So I go up there with my little cup on a stick you get, and was watching
Not a
everyone else
thirsty
do it.
hoe.
Get the water in the cup, wash one hand at a time, then pour some water into one hand to drink from, and let the rest drip until it's full up. Anyway, cutting to the chase, basically, you're in the presence of some pretty intense wisdom right now. Also, there wasn't any place to dry your hands afterwards, so I got wisdom water all over my pants. After that, we saw the 1,000 red gates. You're allowed to walk under them, but apparently it takes like 3 hours to get through them all, and we didn't have that time, so we walked under like 10 and called it a day. After waking up with some French toast that was lightly dusted with a pound of sugar, my mom and I
Wow.
went to the Studio Ghibli
This
Museum.
whole
I can't
stuff
express how
is
incredible
the
that
only
was.
video
I would recommend
I would
anyone who has an
recommend
appreciation
watching
for
is
family,
this
or
one.
animation or art or anything. I'd show you how mesmerizing it is
'Cause
in
I
there,
like
but
this
there's
video.
no filming or photos allowed
I would-
inside, so no
No.
spoilers here.
What's
I'm a
this
child
one?
of the law.
First,
But I
'cause
did
this
snag
one-
a picture of the kids' play area because I thought it
Really
was adorable. Sometimes
weird
you just gotta break the rules when
and
it's
funny.
important, okay? We went to a conveyor belt sushi place, and Mom had never been to one before, so she got overwhelmed and just
Oh my
immediately
God.
grabbed like 5 random things. I've been to one once before, but my skills
If
aren't
you never
anywhere
heard of
near
Jenny
coordinated.
Lang,
So when I
my
tried to put the wasabi bowl back, I ended up clogging a bunch of plates and ruining a section of the
cares?
sushi harmony
You know
and just
what
being
you
really
should do?
obnoxious. Felt really stupid. The next day we almost got on the wrong train.
Look it up on YouTube and subscribe.
Juice was kicking in. We went to this famous Sega arcade with 8 floors. That
And
was
thank God she
immensely intimidating. You
uploaded
know how you go
once
to an
or
arcade
twice
and there's
or
always some Asian kid who's an absolute god at a game, and there's a little crowd watching because it's so mesmerizing and we're all pathetic. This is their hive. This is
What?
the Enlightenment Mountain they
I
climbed
could
for
see
80
what
years
that
and
was
consumed
doing.
nothing but
What?
tears of tigers.
I can't
Car
even-
racing, combat
even
games,
see.
even the
That's
children were
crazy.
getting spit out the womb playing like monks. Look at this guy. I don't know what game this is or the objective.
That looks easy.
The aura around him is screaming, "Leave here and never come back. Unworthy rat." We were also introduced to this dance game I've never seen before called Dance Rush Stardom. It's like DDR, but with less arrows and 100% more late 90s Melbourne shuffling. My brother and I tried to play it, and it felt like the whole country was like, oh god, why are they here? They look Asian, but they're white as crackers. But we got a good kick out of it, so you know what? Go konnichiwa yourself. Then we left and got on the wrong train. But the last night, we
Konnichiwa
went to
doesn't
this robot
even
show,
actually.
and let me tell you, this place was insane. The main attractions of the place are these
Robot.
giant flashy robots and stuff. But I gotta talk about these drinks and light bulbs they were selling. They were crazy with all their blinking colors and such. It was like a little rave in a cup. Like, dude, who comes up with this stuff? Benjamin Franklin wishes he did, I'll tell you that. You got to choose from like 4 drink choices, but most of them were alcohol, so I got this peach juice instead. I'm legally allowed to drink now, but I'm not the biggest fan. Who knows how outrageous the drink would have looked if I was a bit tipsy. Anyway, definitely one of the most insane things I saw for sure.
Hey, do you want to save money when you shop online?
Damn it.
Click right
It's
here.
stupid Annabelle Tunny.
No. No, click there. Click here. Click here. Click it!
Top of the list of the entire show. Japan was so much fun, and it's become one of my favorite memories with my family. But the thing is, when I started this script, I wanted to briefly mention what we did so I could talk about how much trouble I had getting back home, because that was a whole situation of classic Jaden I thought you would enjoy. But here I am on page 4 of the script, and I haven't been able to talk about anything. I don't like breaking stories into different parts, but we're not animating a 20-minute video. I'd rather put my hands in the life of canon. Twice. So yeah, see you in a few weeks with that. Hey, thanks for watching. So a bunch has happened since the last video. YouTube Rewind was posted, so that's cool. And I was in it, so that's cool too. And then it became the most disliked video on YouTube right now.
How much stuff? If I actually had money, I would buy like basically everything in the whole thing here. If I had money.
Welcome back to James Doesn't Know How to Map Out Video Lengths. Okay, so here's the story from Japan. Getting home from Japan I was gonna talk about in the last video, but didn't. Please don't make fun of me. It was a long flight. I was very tired. Just kidding, I'm an actual idiot here. There's no excuse. So after another quick flight of 11 sleepless hours, I landed safely and was ready to go home and die. My roommate offered to pick me up, but my house is a good 40 to 50 minutes away from the airport, and I felt bad for making them pick me up so much because a week before I went to Japan, I was in the UK visiting friends for my birthday. Don't give me any birthday wishes. It was in September. It'll be an embarrassment to the both of us. They'd already driven me to and from the airport 3 times in the past 3 weeks, and I didn't want them to use up any more of their time and gas. So I let them know I was just gonna grab an Uber, which worked out because they were invited to go get lunch with a friend and were worried about time overlap. Win-win. They get a nice lunch, I get in a stranger's car. Warning flag number 1. I never used Uber before. I have my own car. I usually don't need to use an app to find a guy with a weird R name to drive me around. 10 minutes of confused button pressing later. Ding! Your Uber will arrive in 5 minutes. Next. Hello? Yeah, I'm at the gate. Terminal B between area 44 and 45. I don't see you. Are you near... Hello? Your Uber has canceled. What? If we were on a date and I was waiting at the table and you called me from outside the restaurant like, hey, you here? Yeah, I'm at the back in the table to the right. You can't stand me up like that. At least give me some sort of reason. Come on, come back. Rajesh. Anyway, I found out that I needed to be on the upper level of the airport because that's where all the app pickups are. Whoopsie, that's my bad. But he could have told me that when he was on the phone with me in the first place. Rajesh. I wasn't there. Boom. Everyone's problem is solved here. Here's a bunch of money. Think about it. Uber is kind of like the opposite of a kidnapping. Take me home. I got a new Uber that took 15 minutes to arrive, and an hour later I was almost home. Maps can be kind of wonky with my house address, so I started driving past my neighborhood. It was back there. Sorry about that. Oh, that's okay. Which one was it? I live in a little community with a bunch of houses, so I said it was the one on the corner. Could have been more specific, but that's just what came to my mind in the moment. He turned around but stopped at the wrong house and was like, this one? Look, I was running on no sleep for the past 20 hours, so my mush of a brain started being spazzy and socially anxious about the whole situation that wasn't even a situation. Almost all my brain cells were dead at this point, except for the one that ate grass in elementary school. Oh, you had to correct him because Google Maps is being weird? I didn't know you were Satan. I felt like I was bothering him a whole lot with all the one corrections I gave him, so in a panic I was like, this is the wrong house. Yep, this is it. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it. Sorry for the hassle. Wow, is it great to be home at this house that I live in again. Oh, how I missed it, because it is mine. I'm paying this guy, and it's his job to take me to my house. So if it accidentally stops at the wrong one, it helps literally no one for me to be like, oh yeah, this is totally it. I've become a lot more socially confident and calm in the past year, but this is not a good example of that improvement at all. I am aware I look like a wreck right now. I got myself from the trunk, walked up the driveway.
Ever had a moment which you can perfectly capture and bottle forever? Get $300 when you switch to RBC. That's RBC Vantage.
Now I'm standing in the front step of this random house hiding from an Uber driver, hoping the people who actually live here don't realize the random girl standing here for literally no reason. Yes, this is exactly the spot I wanted to be in right now. Honey, did we adopt a 21-year-old Asian girl, or is this a very unthreatening house robber? I was stuck there waiting for him to leave, but he was just sitting there. Hey, can you get off the driveway I don't own already? What the heck, man? I got houses to rob. He was probably waiting to get connected to a new person to pick up, but it wouldn't have looked that great if he was also noticing me poke my head out and peer at him every 10 seconds. I couldn't have started walking to my actual house because I already pretended to walk into my house, and he would have seen me and been like, hey, wait, this isn't your house. What the heck? You lied to me. For literally no reason. And I couldn't have gotten out of the car and started walking to my actual house in the first place because I told him that this was my house. He even double checked, like, you sure this is good? And I was like, yup. I was so loopy and lethargic from being up for the past 20 hours of traveling. I couldn't even tell what was reasonable at this point. Was I actually pulling this off like I thought I was? Were the neighbors just watching me dig myself deeper and deeper into this hole? Could the driver actually see me this entire time? Because that would have been hilarious. Mommy, look! That dirty homeless girl! Finally drove off and I walked over to my actual house across the street. Yes, I've been looking forward to collapsing onto my bed since landing. I can't believe I just did all that. I'm glad the neighbors didn't call the police on me. I don't have any keys. This wouldn't have been a problem at all because, like I said, I have a roommate. But hey, foreshadowing, were you here this whole time? They were at lunch and weren't coming back for the next 3 hours. I'm not a professional when it comes to anything, and that includes breaking into houses. But dang it, if that skill wouldn't have been pretty darn handy to have right there. Break into your own house, Your Honor. No. It's kind of a weird situation for both of us, ain't it? I tried the front door, the back door, the garage door, the secret door. There wasn't any way I was gonna be able to get into this house. Which is how it should be. But I was still mad about it. Living in a house people can't break into. Stupid. I was so drained, I contemplated just laying on the ground of my backyard for 3 hours until someone came home. But I decided that would be an inefficient use of time and also too much of a depressing scene to look at for anyone walking by. So instead, I ordered another Uber to drive me to where my roommate was so we could all hang out and then come back to the house together. Almost an hour later, I'm finally there. I tried my best to be social and energetic. We went and got lunch and stuff, but I was just in critical survival mode. Some people get all loose when they're tired or giggly or maybe even more social. But for me, my body just reverts to maintaining the baseline functions for me to just be a human. I'll breathe and look around and not fall over, but that's basically it. They were getting sushi, so I tried to eat some, but coming back from eating sushi in Japan to some random place in California was just another variable of disappointing. Oh, good karma. We got home, I crashed onto my bed, and proceeded to sleep for 17 hours. There's no moral to the story, I just liked it, it makes me laugh, because I'm being stupid. But if I were to make one up last minute, make sure you can get into your house without keys, because you never know when you're gonna need to get in without keys. That was really bad. Oh well, sorry, I don't know what else you want from me. See you later, but not in my house, because you can't get in. Ever since that incident, I've always left my house with my keys, which is honestly what I should have been doing from day one. But you know what? Shut up. Thanks so much for watching the video. As of right now, VidCon London is coming up, and I'm really excited to go and see my friends and some of you. I feel super freaking lucky to be able to travel around and do this kind of stuff. Younger Jaden didn't have any plans for the future, but...
Hey, Mom. I'm going to buy a 2-story house. And if I ever leave my keys leave the house, I hope no one calls the police on me. Because it'll look like I'm robbing my own house. Because I'll make a tiny way to climb up with some place on my house wall, and then somehow make my way through the window and have a 2-story house. I'm so cool.
Okay, goodbye.
Okay, goodbye.
I think I found what Sonic.exe file. Today, open. What?